Good morning, everybody. So I just wanted to record a quick video to show how this course will be broken down and where your marks are coming from, okay? And just to kind of help you navigate our D12 as well. So as you saw in my announcements and in this quick introduction video, I've mentioned that this first week we're going to have a bit of I guess you can call it a soft start, where our lessons are going to begin on Monday, February the 9th. This just gives people an opportunity to enroll or de-enroll into the course. Okay. So a couple of things real quick. Course homepage, content, where you'll find most of the content of the course. Discussions. Right now, you shouldn't see a whole lot under content. In fact, I'll click it now. You should only see the orientation, and if you complete that, you might see Unit 1 open. Discussions. Yeah, right now, you should only see the introductions. Quizzes. Right now, you should only see the orientation quiz. Dropbox, there should be nothing there yet. And Delta Math and Course Calendar, these two things both work as well. Calendar, it just shows you, if you click it, the pacing of our course, so you can see that entire first week. We kind of just talk about the orientation, kind of get acclimated to the course. And then lastly, Delta Math is something you should have signed up for, okay? And just by clicking the link, the code will show up. You just register with Google, okay? All right, so I was just quickly going through everything in the nav bar, navigation bar, and then email and class list. Okay? Obviously, you shouldn't be able to see the Ed course button, but even if you do, it doesn't do anything. Okay, now your grades. So if you click grades, you should be able to see a quick little breakdown of the course. Okay, now this is going to change throughout the course, but you can see that it's going to be broken down into 8 chapters, and our culminating, we're going to have a 10% calculus exam. And if you look at the calendar, it should tell you roughly when our calculus exam is, and then a vectors exam, and this is the exam that will happen in June. The calculus exam will probably happen end of April-ish, first week of May. So this course is split into calculus and vectors, 2 separate topics. Okay, they are related, but we're going to have a calculus exam sometime in, you know what, let's check it right now. Right now, this schedule is tentative to change. Things can happen and things will move forward or backwards. And this being an asynchronous course, some of us will be working at different paces as well. But right now, our calculus exam, we're aiming to have it available second last week of April. Okay? Again, that could change. And then our vectors exam, so I've got a lot of space here. I did not include chapter 8 yet, okay? But I'll add that in later. Our vectors exam will be the first week of June, okay? And then we're also going to have, as part of our 30%, our culminating tasks. We have a calculus exam worth 10, vectors exam worth 10, practice questions worth 5. I'll explain that in a second. And then your Delta Math, which will be an average of all your Delta Maths by the end of the course, worth 5%. Okay. Now, what are the practice questions? So, let's just take a look at. Let me just get rid of View as Student. Okay. Eventually, things will open up for you. Okay. And chapter 1. So, for example, here's chapter 1. Here's lesson number 1. So, how this course is going to operate? You're going to see the screen. Okay. And then you're going to see, here's a handout for today's lesson, lesson 1.1. So if I click that, rate of change. This is the very first lesson of our calculus class, okay? You're going to see a blank sheet here. Your job is to either print it or use technology to fill this in, okay? This will be our first lesson. There's going to be a video right underneath it of me going through the lesson, okay? As well as extra help videos that follow, okay? Now, follow through, and then you'll see at the bottom there's one discussion for you to complete, okay? And it also tells you to respond to 2 of your peers' posts. And then where it says practice questions, if you click that, you're going to have a couple practice questions to try with answers included, okay? Once you have done that, you're going to click this link where you will, now, this is not what you're going to see, this is just what I see, but by clicking that link, under lesson 1, AROC, IROC practice questions, that's where you're going to submit the practice questions, okay? And this is more, I'm not going to mark all of this. This is just for me to check to see that you've been doing the work. Okay, and then at the end of the course, all these practice questions. Okay, so lesson 1, 2, 3, you can see practice questions. Chapter 2, lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3. Chapter 3, practice questions. I'm going to look at your whole body of work, okay, to give you a mark out of, I believe it was 5%. Okay, and then of course, in terms of your understanding of the actual content, that's where quizzes and tests will come in as well. Okay, and I believe our first quiz, we're going to have chapter 1 test that will cover your understanding of the material as well as assignments. Okay, so let me just here, give me a second here. I just want to make sure no names pop up. Perfect. Okay, so just to kind of give you a rough idea, again, this could change, but each chapter is about 9%. Okay, so chapter 1 is worth about 9%, chapter 2 is worth about 9%, chapter 3, 9, chapter 4, 9, chapter 5, 9, chapter 6, 9, chapter 7, 8. They are both worth 8%, okay, near the end of the course. And then finally, add that all up, plus the 30% culminating, that gives us 100% in the course. Okay. You can also see, because there's going to be activities throughout, okay, and the common question we get asked is what's worth marks and what's not. If you're not sure, all you have to do is, and again, I'm going to go to View as Student, just to make sure that you can see what I see. Go to Grades. You can see here. So Lesson 1, discussion post. So somewhere in Lesson 1, there's going to be a discussion post, and we just saw it earlier. That's going to be worth marks, okay? And then you got the Chapter 1 thinking assignment, and then the Chapter 1 test, okay? These three things added up gives you our 9% that you just saw, okay? And then what else? That's worth 30%. And I know you can't see here that it's worth 9, but I'm going to add it to the title as well. So I'm going to, right beside Intro to Derivatives, I'm going to put 9% so that you can see, okay? As well as each task. Okay, now let's go back here for a second. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. Make sure you go through the material carefully, okay, because this is Calculus and Vectors, the hardest math course in high school. So there is a lot of content, okay? That's why the course calendar is provided for you. Now, with it being an asynchronous course, okay, it does not mean you need to, like on Monday, if you for whatever reason can't get to this lesson, make sure you do it on the Tuesday or the Wednesday. Don't let it build up because it will happen pretty quick, okay? So you can see our first test is the 19th of February. Now, again, for tests are going to be open for 24 hours, okay? So make sure you're able to do it on the 19th. If not, and we need to make accommodations, that's fine. Just make sure you email me at jtram@scudsby.on.ca. It is in the news feed. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much it. If at any point you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Again, I'm just going to go through here and see if there's anything I missed. I don't think so. Yeah, any questions, shoot me an email and we'll chat. Yeah, take care now.